this S600 was used in a ton of fake Craigslist ads.
Yeah! Oh, the other one doesn't look so good, but that's okay.
I think you scored.
Dude, it's got a sun.
Yeah!
Oh, that's bad.
Goes down below there.
Yeah, that's bad. There is no way you're gonna be able to see on camera that, but it looks bad. This is going to be a good motor that's gonna go in the car, and in theory, make the sounds that we all desire out of my black boat, which is ZONDA noises. That's what I'm hoping for.
Uber.
Welcome guys back to the channel. So today we're gonna be doing something that I didn't expect to do this early in the year, but I bought another car. I can't drive it though, but we'll explain why in a little bit. But let's just say I bought another car. And we're gonna go to AMG TAI'S, we're gonna go see it because that's where I had it delivered. And we're actually gonna knock out two birds with one stone because we're gonna drop off the C63S to get a little service work done at AMG TAI'S. And like I said, yeah, we're gonna go see my new car. So I'm kind of excited, and I'm driving the 500 over there. And by the time we get there, buddy, we will have 3 of my 140s sitting at his place. And he would be happy if all of them disappeared. But time for highway montage.
This is why I don't like BMWs. It's because you can buy a Mitsubishi that looks identical. It looks exactly like a BMW.
Dude, that's awful. Oh, dude, look at the wheels on it.
What wheels are on this thing? So, funny story about this car in particular. I don't know for a fact.
Oh yeah, I see a 124 coming down this road.
But I think this S600 was used in a ton of fake Craigslist ads for sale. So when I was looking at my, to buy an S600 originally, you know, you see like fake Craigslist ads of cars. And you end up seeing the same one over and over and over again for a period of time. For the longest time, I think it was this car I kept seeing, because this is the only car I've ever seen with these wheels. I think for like a good 5 or 6 months, this was used as a scam listing in Florida. If you went on Craigslist in Florida and you typed in S600, this bitch would pull up. 97 S600, and it had, the mileage was just about right. So I think this was a Craigslist scam car, but I'm not sure.
What I was about to say.
Oh, a tag. All right, so let's explain what's going on here. So, yeah, I bought another one, and it doesn't run. I'll explain to you why it doesn't run in a moment, but first let me explain why I bought this car. The person to do that actually would be James. So follow me, Blake. Let's go and talk to James. Could you explain to me why the other one is no good? For those watching.
The other one takes a little bit of force to turn over.
Okay.
We put a starter button on it, which if you're not familiar with starter button, it basically manually jumps the starter and forces it to engage. We tried that, and typically that should turn the motor over perfectly fine, no issues. It did not. Tried it one more time, wire started smoking. So we're like, okay, something's wrong here. So then we tried another option. We're like, well, let's get a breaker bar, put it on the crank, see if we can free it up. Because sometimes older motors, they get a little seized from whatever, and they don't like to move. So we put a ratchet on the crank, broke it free, spun it a few times. It started, felt like it was easing up. So we were like, all right, try the starter again. Still nothing. So we're like, well, let's actually measure how much force it takes to actually turn the motor over. Took about 280 Newton meters. The normal motor takes between 40 and 80 between the compression and non-compression stroke. So this is about 3 or 4 times the force to turn the motor over.
Do you know what kind of luck it takes in the world to have 2 M120 motors that both aren't worth putting in a car?
I have absolutely none, but I feel like
incalculable.
yeah, like it doesn't make any sense.
M120 motors are, from who I've talked to, everyone has said they're pretty solid motors. Like there aren't many things that can go wrong with them, you know, from a like mechanical standpoint. Like as long
It's so cute. I'm sorry. Okay, back to
start them young. Yeah, that's great. So when the kid says, "I've been riding dirt bikes since I was a little kid,"
That's that.
pull up the YouTube video.
Who says that. Steven, the owner, had the motor sitting for about a year. It was about a year ago. He was able to turn the motor no problem at all. But somewhere in between there, I don't know if it fell off an engine stand. I don't know what happened to it. But the top end's fine. He never looked at the bottom end. And unfortunately, that caused you guys to basically put the entire motor in the car and not be able to start it. Am I right?
Yes, it is unfortunate. We did do our due diligence before we did put the motor in the vehicle. Again, turned it over, got it broke free by hand, turned it over, put some oil in the cylinders, try and get some lubrication going on, try to prime the oil pump, get some, you know, fluids moving out throughout the motor. Unfortunately, that was still not enough to get everything loosened up and free.
Yeah. So with this all happening, you know, I called Steven and I told him what was going on. He felt absolutely horrible. I mean, that same night, he refunded me the money I paid him for the motor because he felt so bad. So, which by the way, Steven, if you're watching, which I imagine you are, tell us what you want to do with your motor, because as of right now, I've got 2 dead like V12 motors that we don't need here. So that's where this car comes in. It's an interesting story with this car because after I got the call from Ty telling me about the motor not being good and wanting to pull my hair out, I called the only other person I could call to talk about M120 stuff, which is Sam from Gooichi. And he had, mid-December, had offered me to buy this car because he's like, hey, I'm taking the motor out of it. Do you want the rolling chassis? And you know, weird Mercedes me went, let me think about it, because it's never a bad thing to have extra parts lying around. But then I realized, no, I don't need a car with no motor in it. That is the absolute last thing I need. I tell him about the problem, and then about, I don't know, maybe a day later, he calls me and he says, do you want to just buy the S600 off me that I bought like 2 months ago? I said, well, what do you mean? He's like, well, you know, I was gonna use the motor in it as like a roller, like just put it in a car, so a car that I'm building for SEMA can get around and move around. 2020 in June was the last time this car ran, and it went to like a service place, and it sat for 2 years. Because it was either buy a random M120 V12 motor off eBay, where I have no idea what the backstory of it is, or I buy a car that with a couple grand thrown at it, it runs and drives fine. So this is gonna be the donor car now, and this V12 is gonna come out of here, be cleaned up a little bit, put all the nice parts that I have on it, and then put it in the S600 that's over there. And this reminds me a lot of my time when I owned my Murcielago. It took like 3 motors to get 1 car running.
So where'd you get this motor from? How many motors do you have now?
More than I care to admit. Technically, as of this very moment, I have 3 in my possession. That one, that's the original one. This one, which is the one that's going in the car. And then a 3rd one, which is that I bought, that was the replacement motor that had a crack in it, which we talked about here. My motor blew up in my Mercy. I bought a motor for it. The motor had a crack in it. We couldn't use it, so I had to buy another motor. And I ended up sending the motor with a crack in it back. So by the time I was done, like there was at one point, there were 3 Mercy motors all in front of me to get 1 car run.
Wild.
3 motors to make 1 car run.
I was about to say, at one point, I'm gonna have both of these cars in the shop, both out, both torn down, subframe, just parts everywhere. And I'm just gonna be piecing. Because I was about to say, because the thing is, the bumper on this one is better on the bumper on yours.
Oh, is it?
Yes, this one is not cracked. Everything's in place except this.
Oh well, I got
this
one.
panel. But if you have the panel, it would be easier to repaint this one and just put it on that car because this one's not cracked.
This is way nicer.
And it's like there's a bunch of random things.
All
like
I gotta
that.
do is just throw a clear coat on it.
Yeah.
Okay, so this car's got a lot more value than just the motor.
And I was about to say, the thing is, I know the clear coat looks a little rough. Nah, that clear coat's already in.
Blake, are you ready for this?
I'm actually like scared. What?
You ready?
Yeah.
Look at the back headrest.
Oh, the other one doesn't look so good, but that's okay.
You have to think the amount of effort to put this in this car. is
Like,
literally.
that's the OEM headrest. They
Yeah.
cut into the OEM headrest because that was not an option in '97. We got a new battery. Dude, it's got a sun.
Yo!
This thing might dumb. I think we need to get this one running.
Yo, turn it on.
I think
Turn
we
it
need to
on.
get this
Turn
one
it
fucking
on. Turn
running.
it on.
All right,
James,
well,
what am I looking at here?
you are looking at why that amp doesn't work, and probably why the old battery was dead.
Look at all this fire.
Yeah.
Looks like my old Explorer.
Oh my god, yeah.
Yeah.
Hulk, Momo, holy sh. You know, I paid $4,500 for this thing. Okay.
This is an industrial fuse break.
I can't see shit with the sun. Hold on. What is that?
That's the terminal that was on the battery at some point.
It's a fuse break.
Why the
you can just cut fucking power. I don't know. This thing shouldn't have been thumping that hard for them to need this.
It's below there.
I mean, that's a
Yo,
makeshift
it looks
wood.
like you can see down in it looks like a rat's nest of fucking wiring. All this
Oh, that's
wiring
bad.
goes down below there.
Yeah, that's bad. I know there's no way you're gonna be able to see on camera that, but it looks bad.
Whenever we do get it inside, before we start tearing it down,
See if you
I
can
will
run power to it.
I will go through the effort to see if we can get this shit to power up and play something through it.
This is amazing. Like, put like Pimp My Ride on or something in it. You know, like have all the TVs playing the same thing, you know? So folks, this is Ty making his debut. You gotta see the, so first things first, I want you to open that door and take a look at the rear headrest.
Oh. Okay.
So
Alpine system.
Okay,
Okay.
that'll give you an idea. And then, that's what we found under the
Oh.
carpet.
Oh.
It's this big ass stuff.
Oh my god.
The
Okay.
wiring down here.
That is
Just,
gnarly, my guy. So this is actually sad and awesome at the same time. Jimbo, I'm gonna say, I mean, I wonder if this thing works.
I think I scored.
Yeah, I think you really scored because it would be worth it to take this out and put it.
In dude! Oh no.
Ty said it. It's on film. He said it.
Oh,
Yeah, here's the thing. We don't
serious.
I don't even need to cut holes in my headrest. We just take the ones that are in here. We can get it all to work.
Do it.
Bro, it's so easy. Take the headrest out,
Yeah.
and then the wiring, which is shoddy at best.
Yeah.
That's easy. We'll just
I was about to
take.
say, can't we just get it rewired or get a new box and everything?
That would be easy. And then the only other thing I'd worry about,
We'll
the
get another
subwoofer, is like make sure that's not damaged. And then I know this thing sat for a while.
Mhm.
It doesn't smell like it has any mildew or anything in here
It doesn't smell like an electric fire either.
at all. So I think you scored. So that leads me to tell you.
I was about to say, so what's the bill?
Right. So I mean, for you.
It's a beautiful looking car, right? Yep, yep. And what's in here? Ah,
We got no engines, do we?
I know what's wrong with it.
it ain't got no gas in it.
I guess I should put gas in it.
Gas, 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 gas. It's slowing down. Wait.
I wonder
Gas,
if I turn
gas,
the lights
gas.
off, will it Nope.
Nope.
It's just forever fucking blinking now.
You now are constantly in a rave.
Well, hey, I mean, that S600, it's got an instrument cluster, doesn't it?
Oh, your F1 reverse light fell out.
Well, I know the first thing Ty's fixing. There's an F1 light that is no longer there.
Or it's a
That's
reflector.
masking tape. Who is painting this? Found masking tape. It was under your, where the F1 light used to be.
Oh, mess. Oh, nice, lovely.
So no F1 light and masking tape. So who was painting underneath?
Udus.
Hey, I don't know. Can you turn left on green? I don't know. The stop sign. Look at this traffic light. It's like, I don't know. Can you?
Still leaning, dude.
It's up to you. I'm just gonna be over here watching. Oh, what are you saying? Oh, you can go now. You're green. It's all good. Why is it like that? Oh, for the truckers that come this way.